You guys don't know the gist? There was a guy named Nappy. This guy was a YouTuber, streamer, stuff like that. He was hit with some allegations in regards to underage hooking up with peeps. Some pretty crazy stuff. And on Christmas Day, he actually went live. The guy went live. And there was so many people like, oh my God, I'm so glad that he's here. And oh my God, it's so good that, he's here. Like, he's back. Like, all this crazy stuff is like, did you guys forget what this guy did? Right? But no, it's like everyone disregarded that. So what are your guys' take on this? And was this a smart move to come back? Like, this guy didn't even address the issues at all.
Oh, he didn't address nothing at all?
Nothing.
See,
no, didn't he play a meme at the beginning though that kind of like
he played like some sort of thing like, oh, I lost my job, this and this, and then he did like some sort of song thing. He was laughing about it.
Yeah, like making a joke out of it, like low key.
Nah, that's not the best way to go about it. Especially dealing with something with his magnitude anyway. I'm surprised like he was even able to come back from that, because usually, especially now in 2019, there's this thing called cancel culture. And basically when it comes to stuff like with that magnitude or something that people are really mostly against, they make sure that you don't come back from that. So just to see like just to see like him come back to that period is surprising. And the fact that he's just like laughing it off and just joking about it, not really addressing it, is even scummier. So I don't get it, dude. I really don't.
Bro, all I'll say is Nappy needed to stay in the fucking garbage can.
Literally.
Like a lot of people don't know this, but I grew up watching Nappy. So Nappy was actually one of the first ever YouTubers that I watched. Fun fact, one of the first ever videos I ever posted can still be found somewhere out there, of a Pokemon Emerald Let's Play recorded on Camtasia Studio. And it was because I saw Nappy playing Pokemon. I thought that was the coolest thing. So when I heard all this shit, it kind of like pissed me off a little bit. And to see him come back and then handle it the way he did, yeah, fuck you, dude. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I could sit there and say straight up, I don't know or care for him, but a pedophile is a fucking pedophile. Okay,
right.
I don't care what age you are. All right, if you're gonna do that to a young child and then block them, all right, and just act like as if it didn't happen, then you're a fucking piece of shit.
First things first. Let's all, just to throw this out there, all of these are allegations. Nothing has, in my knowledge, has been like 100% like proven in court. So I'm not, when we say all this just for legal rights, stuff like that, we're not saying these things are facts. We're just saying what we've seen, what we've, what's been posted, and our thoughts on the matter. So none of this is 100% like legally confirmed, but I mean, it's looking pretty fucked up.
Right. I just don't like the fact that dude started off the stream like he did. That was like the most, oh man, I can't even think of the word right now, but so honestly, the most brazen thing you can actually do, especially if like you are serious and about the whole thing and you know how damaging that could be. The least that he could have been was more, let's say, transparent about it, more respectful about it, and literally apologize. Because see, the thing is, whether it happened or not, he should have handled it better, because like he's an influential figure, pretty much. And like as a streamer, content creator, whatever you are, you have a responsibility. Like, why do you think this whole COPPA thing is going down too? That just adds more fuel to the fire, because they will look at that as like a huge red flag, and you don't know how this COPPA thing is going to spread due to the actions of a select few. Because that's one problem that I hate about society, is the simple fact that you can't have shit because someone else always fucks it up for everyone else. And yes, you're hearing a lot of curse words from me because of the simple fact that the way this is going down, it is not good for anybody, and especially because of the fact that fans are so blind too. I feel like that's even worse than what Nappy is doing right now, because they don't have a mind of their own. Like they're a bunch of wooloo, just bans at every little thing that they hear. You know what I mean?
They're sheep. They're literally sheep. It's like the people that follow YouTube, but we're not gonna get into that. It's just people that are fucking blind and they follow shit without even like reading into it. It's like, and they'll literally take up for nothing, dude. It's like they're the type of people that in court will take up for a murderer, and they got a fucking video recording of that shit. That
it's so cringy.
That's literally the type of shit that these people are on, and it's a little tough. I mean, again, I'm not the most knowledgeable in this fact. I'll be the first one to say that, but I will say the things that I've seen. Nappy actually came out and spoke about it and made a post, and his post said something along the lines of it was all consensual. But there's literally like, so like he didn't deny what happened. He just like tried to
soften the blow. Right.
So, you know, so he kind of just took the hit and disappeared for a while and then came back, which I mean, you see how he handled that. And it sucks for the dude. You know, he might have had a second chance if he would have came back and handled that shit in the right way, but he blew it. And it's just stupid, because I mean, he came back and made light work of the issue and acted like it was a joke and acted like it never happened. And when you do something like that, you know, I'm not even sure, because there's another YouTuber that was friends with Nappy that did it, and I believe she was like in her late 20s, early 30s maybe, and was, you know, messing with an 18-year-old. And as much as that's legal, right, it's still disgusting when the person is like highly uncomfortable and she's like seeing them in person, like trying to like force it in the community, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, in the fact that person is connected to Nappy, it just, you know, exactly, it's literally a fucking cougar. And I mean, it's legal. It's legal. So it's better. It's way better than what Nappy's situation is, but it's still like, it's like, come on. And all this happened in the Pokemon community at the same time. I felt really bad for the community. Matter of fact, that's what kind of like pushed me away from attempting Pokemon content. I saw that and I was like, just a little bit too much, you know, negative vibes for me. I don't know.
Now, is it just me, or what you just said, Flash, when dude said that it was actual consensual, like that it was okay? Like, still, even if it was, that doesn't mean anything. That's not good. You know what I mean? Like, how's that good? Oh, it's consensual. It's still wrong. I mean, regardless.
Exactly.
Hey, didn't we have this discussion like a couple of months ago, where we actually had like a map of the world of the age of consent in each like country? You remember this?
Yeah, I think we had this on Discord.
Yeah, we were talking about this, all right? And in like certain parts of the world, okay, like 13, 12 years old, but in America, it is 18. I don't care who you are, what you think it is, all right? It says 16, but it's real, man. I'm a parent. It's 18, dude.
I'm gonna like, okay, so in Fez knows this. In places like North Carolina, age of consent is 16, but in reality, like it's still like, you know, even if like on books it says 16 in certain states, it's like, but see, here's the thing, it's 16 in certain states up to like 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. So, and Nappy's way above the fucking 4-year limit. Like that dude's fucking ancient compared to these kids. Like
he's what, 20, he's what, 27?
Like dude's coughing up dust, hitting up these little boys. Like I don't need this.
How old is that?
Little boys.
I don't know. I don't even know, man. I feel like
that's messed up.
Even in general, man, like 4 years it took for a cover up of this.
Right.
4-year cover up. I mean, I read into it, and when I got into it, was basically like he got what he got out of a underage 13-year-old, all right, and basically blocked him and acted like that nothing happened and swept under the rug. And now it comes to light. He comes back, and everyone acts like it didn't happen.
Right.
Like, come on, man. This isn't like political, like injustice tapes where, you know, I see like the Canadian Prime Minister in one of them little shows or whatever, dressed as like a, you know, I guess like portrayed as an African American descent character or something like that. Human being, okay. In general, you can't sit there and do that, especially being as old as you are. And come on, man, like that mentality, people like that straight up are just like, they control and manipulate a young mind to do what they want. And nah, that's just not how shit goes up in here.
It's sickening too, because there's plenty of them out there too. Like plenty of people that prey on underage people, and they try to take advantage of them, and it really is sickening out here.
And unfortunate, it's sick and unfortunate of how easy it is to do too.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, Dino, do you have any like details? And I know you've been like, you know, you've been in the community for a while.
Like which specific one?
Like any details regarding the situation? Because basically we're just giving like our thoughts, like in terms of like Nappy and like what he said to these kids to like. Because I know a few things, but I don't know the whole.
I mean, I've seen like on Twitter there was like things floating around, like Discord DMs of him and, you know, the underage kid at the time. I don't think he's underage anymore, but
right. I think all of these guys that they were talking to was like straight up YouTubers, and he pretty much came across and was like, I'm not going to promote you. You're not going to be in this group of content creators. We're going to kick you out if you don't be my boyfriend. And from what I read, and the person
that was a lot of content creators.
Yeah, and from what I've read is that like for a little while, the person that he was talking to was unsure of his sexuality at the time. And,
bro, are you serious?
And so like he wasn't sure how to feel about it, so he just kind of like rolled with the wind.
Dang,
And,
so you tell him,
yeah, and like other content creators knew about it, but
and they didn't say shit.
But they didn't.
Wow.
They didn't say anything, to my understanding, because of how big, how big Nappy is in the community and how much of like a leeway he had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
that's how it always is.
Right.
And that's why Trump was president. Yeah. I don't like bringing up politics, but I just had to throw that.
Man,
just
fuck that cheese doodle, man. I don't even know about him, man. He ain't nobody, man. He don't need to be in office. Man. Come on, man.
No, don't get in this conversation, please.
Let's not.
No, this is gonna start World War IV.
Let's not get into
I'm
that.
not getting in the conversation of it. All I'm gonna say is, not one president in the history has ever been on social media like our president. Okay? That's all I gotta say. And
all right,
so,
But straight up, it's just unfortunate that stuff comes to this. I mean, and to kids, so many kids watch Nappy, and like so many kids, you know, were broken and didn't understand the situation when it happened, and Nappy just kind of disappeared. And I think that's what we're seeing now when he's come back, is people who didn't fully acknowledge and, you know, understand the situation when they were younger, when it happened, to him coming back now, to them being a little bit older, to then just being like, oh man, where have you been? Like, nothing can stop the king. Like, first of all, fuck that shit. You know,
I couldn't.
it's like,
my crown, bro.
And I kind of told you guys this before, before the podcast, but one of the things that I've seen is these viewers are like, oh, well, you know, his content is great, so he's a great person. That is the biggest BS I've heard ever. I do not care if your videos are fucking the most best thing ever.
Yep.
If you're a trash ass human, you're a trash ass human. I don't care. That makes no sense.
There's no correlation with that.
It makes no sense. How does that make any sense?
it's
You
literally,
have
it's
good
literally
content, so you're a good person. No, fuck that shit.
it's
That's
gross.
stupid. That makes no sense at all.
And then make
Period.
asses look dumb too. You know, you could ask that same person that actually is, you know, praising this false king. I did say false king. Praising this dude, and you could just simply ask him this. Okay, all right, how would you feel if he did something, you know, like morbid to your child? How would you feel then? Would you still praise him? Or would you just, or would you get in his ass? I mean, what are you going to do?
Or check it, or even in this retrospect, think about it. What if it's one of the kids that watch him? What if he does that to one of the kids that watch him? You feel me? Is that okay? Is that okay to just do that to anybody that you meet, any viewer that comes around, anybody that supports you? Like, come on, man. Like cheap.
Like Vinge, you you know how some kids can get over VIP badges and like VIP roles, and like how like obsessed they can get with it. Like, can you imagine like Nappy or like another creator, like how easy it is for them to be like, hey, you're getting your VIP taken away if you tell anybody. Like, you know, it's like stuff like that. You know, it's like,
and it's easy.
it's
dumb.
And there's definitely people out there that do that. And anybody listening, you have to listen out and watch for that. Like, straight up. Like, you have to be aware. And it sucks that you have to be aware of that, but I mean, that's just how the world is these days. And I mean, it's literally like a woman saying, you know, my boyfriend's abusive, he gives me black eyes, but he makes me laugh, so I love him. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's literally like that. And I know I bring out like these ways of saying things every streams, but like, seriously, it's like a great way to explain it. It's straight up how people are. And to me, it's disgusting. And I can tell you one thing, it blows my mind that if someone like me did a very small mess up that wasn't even something this bad, like, I'm talking, if I said something to somebody that was just hella mean, I'd get my shit jumped. But then you got people like Nappy, who's like, Nappy can't do no wrong. Like, it's like, are you kidding me? This kid's literally trying to get with kids. Ugh.
Now, Dino, quick question. Now, this term, because, you know, like, I hear people throwing this term out so loosely, and I'm like, okay, is the term cancel culture, was that supposed to be a negative term, or is it like just the name? Like,
cancel, it's so hard to explain what cancel culture is, but mostly people think cancel culture is like taking something away from them from the internet. So like whatever they accomplished or whatever they did on the internet, they can no longer be an internet person. They can only live in the real world. So essentially kind of like canceling them from even having a presence or something like that, where they can't come back. There's no return.
So, but it's funny how so many people like to use that term in such a way where it's such a bad thing. Like, why does it even have to be called freaking cancel culture? I mean, like, honestly, it's not a freaking culture. It's like you're shutting somebody down that needs to be shut down, because if they continue, they're just going to continue to be a bigger clown, and more people is going to see that and be like, hey, if he can get away with it, I can become a bigger clown too. It's like, I don't really like the term. Like, I mean, it sounds so negative to me.
Because it is negative.
Crazy.
That's exactly what it is. It is negative.
Just something else to be trendy, man. Somebody go along with the group, or just try to make a movement out of a saying or something. Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm not gonna mention names, but all of you guys know who I'm talking about. Is we had a situation a month or two ago, maybe more. I'm horrible with time. Where somebody took allegations of what somebody did with no proof whatsoever and tried to ruin their life. But then you got something like this where we have proof and allegations. You know, like, it's not court proof because they don't want to take online pedophilia to court.
Right.
But like, it's, you know, it's enough to where the community can literally ban the fuck out of this dude.
Basically.
And you know, they're so quick. This person that we had an encounter with, everybody was so quick to join together and be like, yo, what the fuck? And then, but with something like this, it's like, I think the majority still bands together and they're like, yo, this shit's stupid. But just the fact that we're seeing as many people as we're seeing come out and be like, hey Nappy, hey the King's back, hey, and like subbing and donating and all this shit. And I mean the motherfucker came back in sub only mode. Like
yikes. See, that's even more coward in the move, because like obviously your subs is gonna choke on that, you know.
I think Nappy was just like rent's tough this month, gifts and everything. I'm gonna go live.
I was thinking that too.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
And
because I don't think he's streamed again since, maybe because of the backlash. But I mean, a lot of people sub just to say a few words in his chat, you know.
Oh my God.
So he got a decent amount of subs for that short stream.
So I noticed something in chat, and like Pizza Yoshi mentioned it. He was saying something about how his viewers didn't know. I'm gonna tell you this. I feel like at least half of them knew, but they don't want to believe it because, again, with the topic that we brought up, they just love his content. They grow up with it or something. They're like, oh man, I grew up with watching you, and like, you know, you just seem amazing in what videos you make, and this and this, and that's the part. So whatever, even if there was proof and it was put in court and everything, and he was guilty, there would still be these people.
They're just blind, man.
I mean,
obviously these are allegations, but again, if he were to be guilty, I'm telling you right now, those viewers would still be on his side.
Of course.
Shocking.
Cheap.
Bad.
That's just how it is. Like, they just like the content.
Unfortunately.
And then this brings back to the Nathan thing. You have to mention Nathan. And here's what's unfortunate. I spoke with Nathan before, and I'm not gonna say his full thing. You guys already know the thing. Yeah. I mean, he was really close with me and Vinny and a lot of us, Dylan, and I can keep naming people. He was really close with us because essentially what happened was that group kind of like shoved him off. So Nappy and them kind of like kicked him out, and we didn't really know why. So then like Decatur, I said his name. You know, he basically messaged me and he's like, okay, well, this is what actually happened, and he told me all this, and I was like, it didn't sound bad. I was like, oh, okay, so that's pretty cool. Like, we worked with this guy after that. Like, we did all this stuff for like a full year, right? We did all this stuff. Like, we helped him, and it wasn't just me, it was just everyone in our side of the things that was helping him. But then all these other guys were like really, really quiet about it. They didn't say anything for like a full year.
Wow.
So like they let this all go by, and they waited until PAX or whatever that event was where they did the show me your moves thing with Dobbs and stuff. They waited until then to say something.
That's terrible, dog.
Why?
I'm sorry, but like
that makes no sense. So you just wait until everyone is grouped at one event, but we've done all this promoting and stuff for a full freaking year. Like, how do we feel? Like, you never thought about us on that, and then you guys just like bash him, and then bash, you know, Nappy, and then bash all these other people. You should have done this way before.
I'm gonna be real, but like, even though you guys would never, you know, I've known you guys for a while, you guys aren't the type of people to do this shit. But if any of you motherfuckers do anything this stupid, I'm tweeting that shit out. like dead ass. Like I'm tweeting it out like as soon as I find it out. Like I'm not, dude. Like straight up.
Yeah, we got enough pedos out here, man.
Like I'm sorry, I don't ride with that shit. Like I don't figure it out and just, you know, be like, damn, that's unfortunate. But he cool though. It's like, that's like me saying, because people want to roll with, you know, Nathan and, you know, Nappy because they had a push in followers. It's like, I have a lot of friends that are high up in the YouTube scene and some in the Twitch scene, and I can tell you right now that if they ever fucking screw up like that shit's, I'm speaking on that shit. Like,
you got to,
like at the, you know, I'm speaking on it. Given the chance, at the very least, I'm cutting ties. But I'm definitely gonna speak on it if like legally it's like fine to, you know what I'm saying? Like if it's not to, if I'm not able to, then I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna wait. But I'm cutting ties and them motherfuckers, and the viewers gonna be like, whoa, Flash ain't hanging around with this dude. I'm be like, hell no, I ain't. What the fuck, dude? I'm not doing that shit. There's too many. I ain't fake. I don't ride with nobody. I don't care what your numbers are. If you fucking stupid, get out.
You're dumb, you're dumb. Because like I even tell people all the time, this is one reason why when I've done streaming that I'm transparent. I always tell the truth. You know, if I did something foul or I did something where it's like it can come back on me, hey, I'm gonna speak up about it because you know what's uglier? Trying to hide it and then it just spills. Like a cup of coffee, man. It just spills and burns your dick. I mean, like, what it just does.
It's a honey dick, Vince.
What the fuck?
Like I don't want that happening to me. Like that, I would tell you this right now. If I feel like I'm falling, I would straight up tell somebody, yo, like, tell me to get my shit back together, man. I got to get back in line because, like, I don't want to get caught up in no BS. I mean, it's so easy. Let me tell you some facts right quick, because I tell people this all the time. It is so easy to, how should I say? It is so easy to make the wrong choice. It's a lot harder to make the best choice, the more reasonable choice, that choice that will actually keep you out of trouble. It is so easy to make the wrong choice. And that's why I feel like people that make the right choice deserves a hell of a lot more than what they get, because that's one of the things that I hate about society overall, is the fact that the wrong people is always getting all of this nonsense recognition they don't even deserve, recognition that they didn't even earn. That is why America is such a farce now, because of BS like that.
Bro, let me explain it to you like this. Going to content creators like these and being fine with it is like going on Tinder, swiping right on an all natural freak, right? And then hitting her up, and it's like the ass fake, the rack fake, the lips fake. She can't get past the tip. It's like, fuck you mean? I ain't sitting with that. It's like,
He said tip.
no, it's like dead ass. Like can't like it's like fake news everywhere you go. You think I'm a chill with that? Like no, I'm gonna unswipe you. I'm getting out of there. I'm going on Bumble. I'm uninstalling Tinder. It's
Bumble?
over.
Oh no, you dying, huh? What the hell is that? What is Bumble?
Yo, straight up, dude. Don't even. No,
Now you're gonna get me curious. No,
This man.
we ain't talking about rib tips, man. I'm like, wait. I need to see this now. Okay, now you piqued my curiosity.
Yeah, but in general, pedophilia, you can't be doing that shit. All right. I mean, on the real, if you actually like look around your own society, your own street where you live in, if you're an American shit, all right, you know where the pedophiles live. They're in the directory. All right. I can tell you straight up. I got one that living at the end of my street that looks at me like I'm a little boy, but I'm not no little boy. All right. And then I mean, there's like 2 or 3 around you, but the thing is, you know where not to bring your children. You feel me? But I mean, it's just wrong. Like doing that shit.
Point blank.
I mean, associating yourself with somebody for somebody younger, especially that are real influential. All right, on us adults.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's old enough to be their dad, you know what I mean? And it's like, bruh.
Yeah.
America!
It's like imagine. It's like Nappy used to be a full-time content creator. He's a bum-ass dude on the side, like not having any real job. For Christmas time, he was probably Santa Claus at the mall. So like you realize your children might have been sitting on Nappy being like, what's good? Nappy Boy 92 here, back again once again. And today, people, it's like today, people. Today, what would you like for Christmas? Bounce, 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 bounce. It's like
putting the Christmas pictures up on his wall when he gets home in his room. Man,
it's straight up. Like
the popcorn prank.
Like don't get it twisted, people listening. I have a very awkward sense of humor. I make jokes out of a lot of things, but this shit's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So
fuck this clown, man. He a clown. Get roasted, bitch.
It's like there's
well, literally.
there's no.
I was gonna bring this up. So with Nappy, the funniest thing was when his stream started, he had like the live chat. A lot of those people were already subbed, So this dude was gone for all these months, and people still had auto sub.
they continued
I
their
have people who are
sub.
auto sub to me for like 3 years now. Shout out to you. But if that's happening to me, it's definitely happening to him.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at his
Right.
live chat, and those people were still subbed, even through all.
That is true. I saw
That's crazy.
I saw him say shout outs for 6 months to one dude. I was like, what?
Wow.
He touched me, but I still love him.
Crazy, bro. This man is family.
I can't believe this.
Bro, dude,
You guys, it's your fault this is happening.
Hey.
You said embrace the rage.
Hey, might as well.
Embracing the rage.
Nappy came on that stream like, I like you and I want you. Now we can do this easy way or the hard way.
Hard way. The choice is yours.
The choice is yours. It's like dead ass. It's like, come on now. I mean, the way he started that too. I saw a clip. I didn't watch it live. I saw a clip of it. The way he started, his eyes are just like the fuck me eyes. Like he's got the
That's a
pedo.
thing?
Yes, the fuck me
Yikes.
eyes are real, dude. He's got the pedo stash and everything. He was just chilling. He was like, it's like he was like looking out for his horizons. Like,
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
what is that,
Like
though?
he was scoping the competition. He was
Yikes.
Lord have
Competition?
mercy.
dude came out with Simba, yeeted him off the rock and said, "It's the circle of life."
Oh no. Oh Lord.
Like dead ass.
He
Dude.
went in with that. Oh no.
Anybody tuning in, you can't tell me you haven't seen the fuck me eyes at least once. It's
You
like,
mean that
I
red
need a
beam?
visual.
no,
Like that red beam or
it's
something?
nah, it's just the look you get when it's like me, you, fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's
Oh,
like
it's one of those.
yeah, it's like
It's one of those.
you know, personally, I've only ever seen it from women, but it goes around. You know what I'm saying? It goes
But
around.
some sleepy ass, like, what should I do with you?
It's it's like the look. It's like big spoon, little spoon, like you know. It's like,
Big dipper, little dipper.
but it's like in Nappy's way, he's like stroking his pedals. He's like,
Wait, what am I going to do?
It's like one of those villains from like the TVs from like the early 2000s, like 90s. Like,
This is too much.
Goddamn penguin.
you know, it's it's gross, but I mean, it's facts.
Yikes. Oh.
Lord have mercy, dude.
Oh dang, man, that was rough.
So yeah, I mean, he changed his name, even on YouTube. I mean, he was called King Nappy, and then Twitch, he just named himself Nappy. It looks like he is trying to come back. But if honestly, what he should have done is he should have made like an intro. If he really did, if he was wrong, and he admitted it, and he apologized, and this, maybe like a little story about it.
Mhm.
Maybe this is a slight. Maybe they'd allow him to an extent. I don't know, because he was gone for I don't know how many months, like 7.
That's like
Something like
running
that.
away. That's like
he,
anime,
He was literally
man.
hiding that still, and he made fun of it at the start of the stream.
Right.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
Yeah, because it's like you're running away. You know, like when the typical anime line, so you, hey, man, you freaking ran away like a coward, man. Like,
Yeah, there's one
Literally.
thing you're getting away from in social media. Social media remembers every day.
Social media, yes.
hey, Flash, remember this? You won't get away. You won't get away.
Get over here! Finish him!
Because here's the other part that's really difficult is putting a timestamp on how long it takes for someone to learn something.
Oh,
That's the other thing too. Because I mean, this guy was gone for like what 7 months.
Mhm.
So like everyone learns things or becomes better at different points. Sometimes it takes people 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, 10 years. Like, but the problem with the internet is people put a time on it, and I don't know if you can really put a time on it.
You can't.
And that's the tough part.
When you do something like that, you can't put a time on it.
Nah.
There's no time back. So like if you're
But
gone
here-
if
but
you're
here's
gone
the
for
issue.
years, you
But
need to
those
say something.
people that are saying that, and I'm not defending Nappy, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying if you look at it from their point of view, they're like, oh, he needs to learn from this and this, and then he can come. Like, there's these people that say that, but then they don't put like a time on it or anything. They just say, you know, whatever's on their mind as to how long this guy is gone and then comes back. It just depends on them as a person. And that's what's really difficult, because they're gonna put like a time in their mind that they say, oh, okay, this is okay, you can come back now or something. It makes no sense, because I've seen those comments before.
Right.
Where
The only way
like,
people are gonna see it though on the real Dino, straight up, is if Chris Hansen straight up exploits him on Dateline NBC and shit. You feel me? Ain't nobody gonna see it unless they got video or any type of proof.
Yo, forgetting Nick Cannon, like, can Eminem diss the fuck out of Nappy?
Please, somebody.
Like,
Take it.
like literally, Nappy raps too. He makes music. It's like, can you imagine? Can you imagine how like? Can you imagine people who make music? They laugh about, or not laugh. They rap about their life and like things they've been through. And he's like, hitting up underage. Yes, bitch, I get paid. it's like.
I mean, it just spits on what everyone does. I mean, that's the thing, that even though, you know, none of us are, no one is really, you know, no one is and shit like that, but it's just the fact that he's doing what everyone else is doing, and his like ideology and the things that he has done, it literally spits on what everyone else is doing, and especially people that are trying to be out here doing things the right way, even if it's not the best way to succeed. I just can't wrap my head around a lot of this. Like, it's just insane. It really is.
Like, don't get it twisted. Like, I mean, I understand, you know, Nappy's point of view. He's like, man, gotta be a player, you know, because I'm a player. Like, I'll hit somebody up, but if they in the legal age limit, like if it's okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, check that shit. Like,
It's not hard.
It's
and I mean, in this
film.
point, the dude literally couldn't even grow facial hair. He wasn't old enough, and Nappy was like, "Oh, what's good?" Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's like, come on,
Come on, man. Come on, dog.
Like, man, come on. I don't even know, man. I've never had to face that shit, but I already know, me being like as old as I am, you know, I'm in my 30s now. You know what I'm saying? And I got 4 kids, just like I saw somebody in the chat. And in general, you know what I'm saying? You think that's going to even happen? I'm going to let that happen to anybody? You feel me? Especially at that old ass age, someone's going to try and creep on my daughter. You know what's going to happen to that fool? That fool is getting beat up.
I'm gonna
find him and beat him up.
Dude, true story time with Flash. And my first job, I worked at a skating rink, right? So on one of my mini shifts, there's this old dude. He had to be like late 50s, early 60s. Straight up playing with a girl that's like 11. He was like pinching her ass, and I saw that shit one day. Dude, I was ready to fucking throw down. I kicked that motherfucker out so fast. Like, if you see that shit and you don't bat an eye at it and you still support that, like, you know it's wrong, but you're like, well, you know, their content's good. It's like, you're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
It's one of those things where, like, if you see that in our society, and this is the only way our society is not going to get continuously like worse, like, if you see that anywhere, online, in real life, anywhere, in your friend circle, fucking address that shit, dude. It's like,
that shit out.
because if we let it go, it's only going to get worse, and more of them are going to freaking like come out. Like, it's
and be bold about it.
Yeah.
They're not gonna stop.
right. No, they're going
bold now just by how these kidnappers are going. But
I
I'm not
know.
gonna get into that topic. But like, they're getting bold now to the point they don't even care. So you gotta stop the shit sooner or later, or it's gonna get even worse. You can't control it at that point.
Yep. Can't let a virus spread, man.
Yeah,
Exactly.
let me ask you guys, when you get the flu, do you go to the doctor and get medicine?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So when you experience something like this, wouldn't you go to somebody and explain what you've seen for help? Like, right off the bat? Like, why would you wait? You know, like these people, like, I mean, it's also, I'm gonna come out and be this guy. I'm gonna have to be the guy, and there's gonna be somebody that has a problem with me saying this. But if you get, if you get pissed, I'm sorry. But if you're somebody that's been sexually assaulted and you wait 2 fucking years to come out, you're also part of the problem. I'm so sorry for what's happened to you, and I am so sorry that you've had to go through that. But if you wait hella long to come out about it and wait, you're part of the problem. And that doesn't take away from anything that you've experienced. That doesn't mean that, oh, you shouldn't be able to say anything at that point. I'm just saying you should have said something a long fucking time ago. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry.
That's real talk.
I'm sorry. If somebody does some shit to me, I mean, I'm a grown ass man now, so I mean, if somebody does something, it's like game on. It's not like fucking weird. But it's like, if anybody did something to me, dead ass, I would have said something that fucking day, dude. I would have been disgusted, but like, come on, like, if you experience something and you know it's wrong, like, why? Like, there's people that write these messages and like, I know it was wrong. I knew it in my head. I just couldn't bring myself to say it. I was scared. It's like, look, you need to push by that and fucking say something. I understand completely that you're feeling stuff that you haven't felt, but you need to, like, come on, because it makes it so much harder for these people to be held accountable when you come out and be like, well, this guy said something to me 2 years ago, but he hadn't said anything since. You know what I mean? It's like, it's much easier to get somebody in trouble to be like, hey, this dude just fucking messaged me last night or this morning. This is what he said. This is the screenshot I had. What the fuck do we do? You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody would have your back. I mean, I understand that it's not simple. But at the same time, it's,
you gotta grow a pair, man. You got to, because if I had to throw the chair at the offender or the victim, 2 years, I throw the chair at the victim. Real talk, because they let it go on for too long.
And that happens a lot nowadays too. Like, too often, to the point it's just like, dude, you could have said something a long time ago. And I get that, fear comes into effect and they're scared of what's gonna happen, but it's like 2+ years? Why are you gonna wait that long to saying something,
Yep. That's why people get away with it so much. Because you
Exactly.
wait that long.
Right.
I don't know. It's like, I understand that, like, there's some therapists out there that encourage you not to say anything. They're like, just get your distance. They don't encourage you to say anything. There's actually, believe it or not, there's people out there that do that shit, and they're part of the problem too.
That's just as bad. I never realized that counselors actually like said that to the extent as far
because
as
they think that the counselor is just enough.
Counselor is not enough.
That's why I wish the counselor would just be like, look, I'm not the only person you should talk to or something. Or something. Like, we get it, you're professional, right? But at the same time, it's like, you're not the only person that should know this.
Right.
I don't know. That's crazy.
Gotta have a social network and not just involving one little shrink. I mean, they just out there for the money, half of them. They get the money, they say their words, and then they split. They hit it and quit it. That's it. That's all they really do. You'd be lucky to run into that one person that's going to tell you exactly what you need to know and tell you what you should be doing, but half of them, they just out there for that paycheck. Just like half of these freaking doctors that just gives you shit that adds the problem but doesn't do anything to cure it. So
I mean, I'll even go as far as saying is, if people take time, it's fine, but to take long periods of time, I think is the problem. Like years. Like, some people wait years to come out, and that's a little scary.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like those years.
There's no statute limitation on shit, man. You can do something 20 years ago and get tried for it.
Well, I mean, just think about it. That time that you're waiting to come out and say that person is going after other people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's okay to take time. So I'm gonna backtrack on what I said just a little bit. It's okay to take time. Just don't let it get away from you. Don't try to put it in the back of your head.
Yeah,
It's like, because I mean, it's never gonna go away. You have to address it.
Yeah, waiting too long makes it worse.
Like, not to start another topic, so I'm not gonna say too much about this, but it's like, why do you think the people with this like Michael Jackson allegations and stuff like that are just now coming out? Because if it's real, I mean, it's been years and years and years. It never goes away. You know, they should have did that shit a long time ago.
Way long
But like,
time ago.
but like, it's just proof. You know, it doesn't go away. I'm not saying it's true. I don't know all the details, but like, if it is, and they're coming out about it now, it's like they tried to put it in the back of their mind. And like these YouTubers now, they even came out and they said we should have said something. So like they see it, and I don't know. Nappy is a lost cause. I think he had his chance to possibly. I'm talking about like a 5%, like possibly make a comeback. You know, like in a very small portion, if he handled it right, and he didn't. So. That's all. That's all I gotta say to Nappy. Rest in peace, Nappy's career. Actually, don't rest in peace. I hope it gets shredded up in the shredder. I never want to see you again. Please never go live. I hope you get banned on Twitch. So that's
the more or less, you know.
That's my last words.
Man, you shouldn't even be fucking doing anything. You shouldn't be. You know, he didn't put nothing out there.
I don't even want you swiping my groceries. Like, let's be real.
This man.
Like, I don't want you climbing up to the top shelf to get my Lego box. Like, I don't want nothing. So I don't, dude. I don't want you making my Wendy's burger. Like, what are you gonna put on the lettuce? Like, I don't want this. Like, you know, it's just get out. It's people like that just need to go.
I just know that in his stream he said that he'll come back to stream or something. Like, oh, I'll have another stream out soon or something. So I don't know. It just seems like he's slowly trying to get in fully.
Right.
Well, if he just gonna keep being a punk by using the sub only route, it's not gonna work out for him.
It's gonna die down real soon if he keeps that up.
Yo.
But the issue is that you just don't know how long it's gonna be. Like, if people are going to continually talk about it as well, that's gonna be really annoying to see. I'll be real.